Want to hear something good?
Want to hear something good?
That's good.
I gotta tell you about this good thing.
Did you hear about that program? It's good.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
What's good?
What's good?
Did you hear what's good?
What's good, Goodwill?
What's good, Goodwill?
What's good, Goodwill?
What's good, Goodwill? It is August, and I'm your host, Michelle.
And I'm your host, Heather, and we have survived the summer heat.
Ooh, good grief, it's been hot.
Yeah, it went from spring, lovely, warmer spring temperatures to summer, bam, and it's been summer ever since.
Yeah, the highs and the lows, and then the highs all over again. And to those listening to us in Lewiston, bless you.
Bless you.
I'm so sorry. What is it, Hell's Canyon or something like that down there?
Right, and Moses Lake is the same way, but I feel like Moses Lake, they're like, oh yeah, we're used to it, so. Wow. But we live in a beautiful place. We live in a beautiful place. I remind myself that. And I will take the dry summer temperatures and the snow in the winter over humid heat
Yeah,
any
hot
day.
humid. And shout out to my parents in the South with the humidity of, ooh.
No thanks.
Though the other day when it was like 100 plus, I was remembering all those times that I was upset about the snow. I'm like, you know what? Right now, bring the snow. That's
Right.
You know what else is hot that we just got done with? What did we just get done with, Heather?
Coeur d'Alene. Coeur d'Alene was amazing.
And chaotic all at the same
Oh my
time.
goodness. So our team members just finished up a before and after video of the Coeur d'Alene store, before and after. And, as I was going to chamber events in June, talking to people about, hey, we're going to be opening up in July. And I had so many people come up to me and say how amazing the facility looked, and people who live in the neighborhood who were so pleased to have it look so nice. And it's that we were able to accomplish through the really good use of funds and investing in ourselves, because it's really important to us that our employees have a clean and a safe and a good place to work, and our participants, and to have offices now where we can meet people in the community and get them connected to our services right there. And also to have a clean and a nice and a safe place for our customers and donors to come as well. So that facility was really in need of some upgrades. And I honestly have to say that the bathrooms, oh my goodness, they're amazing.
The brand new bathrooms are gorgeous.
They're so
by the way.
gorgeous. If you'd been in that facility and used the bathrooms previously. So, we have these gorgeous, these great clean new bathrooms that are accessible restrooms. And then we also have additional restrooms for our employees on the backside and for participants and that. So it's really nice to have that added space. We've got a new break room outside for our employees where they can get outside. They're not hanging out, behind the building in the concrete. It's a nice space for them. And then of course the donation drive-through is now covered. So if you've ever been there on a busy Saturday in the middle of summer, now they're shaded. So it's just a lot of improvements, a lot more energy efficient for us as well. And then we did ads in some electric vehicle charging stations, which that really just goes along with our mission to, support more sustainable practices for our community. So it's a spot where folks can come and charge up their electric vehicles and be on their way. It's super excited. The community, we had probably 70, 80, 90 people in line when we were getting ready to open the doors at 9.
Yeah.
We actually had a guy, I wish I could remember his name. Thank you, mysterious shopper, who showed
was it, like,
up
2
at
hours?
He was there at like 7 o'clock in the morning. And I'm like, are you here for the grand opening? Oh yeah. I'm like, we're opening at 9. He's like, okay. And he's just hung out for 2
just
hours.
sat there at the front of the line.
Yeah, so we gave him a coffee card for for that. But, people had a lot of fun. We did have a lot of long lines, but our staff worked as quickly as they could, and customers were so patient and just having a good time. And we were able to, even my team came out and we were helping put product on the floor.
There's a lot of good things on the floor of Coeur d'Alene.
There were a lot of good things. And so
my fingers, every time I would put something on there, I would put it on the shelf with pride, because I know that somebody was going to come right behind me and snatch it, and then I'd turn around and it'd be gone. And I would do the little victory dance of something really awesome I know was going off the floor.
Yeah, it was amazing. So if you've not been out to the Coeur d'Alene Lane store, go check it out. That project was accomplished through a lot of hard work and teamwork between our team, our maintenance team, our IT team, our operations team, our workforce and family services team, the marketing team, the accounting team, and Baker Construction and Development and BWA Architects and all of the subcontractors who worked for us out there. It is a beautiful facility, and it's just kind of neat to take a building that been in the community there in Coeur d'Alene for 36 years. So it was really neat to take a structure that existed and remodel it and make it better and improve it, make it more efficient and reopen it. We are the original recyclers, right? As an organization, that's really important to us. So rather than tearing down a building or an abandoned, just selling it off, we're able to stay in that community and continue to be part of the community, reusing what we had and just making it better. And it's going to be a lot more efficient and a lot better working environment and shopping experience and donation experience for everybody. So thanks to the community. If you haven't been out there, go check it out. 1212 North 4th Street in Coeur d'Alene, and then shop for a little while and then pop on down to the lake. So
That sound that we hear is the school bell, because unfortunately it's back to school time.
School time.
Oh, I know
School
people are like,
time.
summer just started, but like the rest of this year, it is flying along.
It is.
So students of all ages can visit Goodwill stores for their back-to-school needs, whether it's clothing, shoes, accessories, houseware, because college kids got to find that houseware and
Absolutely.
the furniture. I mean, I've seen online, college girls with their Pinterest boards, and now like the unbelievable dorm rooms that people create now, and you can create those same gorgeous dorm rooms out of stuff that you find at Goodwill.
Right. So we all know we're watching our pennies, right? Economy's a little challenging. Everybody remembers what it's like. I have to say my son's a college student down at University of Idaho, and much of his dorm now his apartment is stocked with stuff from Goodwill that somebody else didn't want anymore.
I joked with a couple girls at the Coeur d'Alene opening that, we have 14 stores plus the outlet. So if you had time and you want to do like the ultimate road trip in Eastern Washington and North Idaho, you could deck that dorm room out in style.
So much fun. I actually considered doing that with my sister. She and I went away for a sister's trip, but I had already spent my wallet at Coeur d'Alene the week previously. So
I'm sorry, you did what?
I spent what I had in my wallet.
I was like, man, I haven't heard that statement in a long time, actually.
My family laughs, because people around my family laugh, because my family has always had, we call them isms that my family says, and I don't hear very many other people say them. So we call it a landfairism, is, spent in the wad, or putzing around the house, or whatever. So we have funny sayings that my family says. So when somebody else says them too unprompted, I'm like, hey, I say the same thing.
Speaking of being hip with the lingo, so we're finding that younger generations are more concerned about the environmental impact of their purchases. When you're buying your annual school supplies, secondhand shopping continues the lifestyle of those items. So it gives it a second chance and prevents it from an early existence in a landfill. Especially in 2023, Goodwill Industries of the Inland Northwest kept 24 million pounds out of local landfills.
That is a lot of stuff,
Yeah,
right?
it
I mean,
is.
it's amazing. So I think it's really hard to think about, how much is 24 million pounds. So we think about a small car is over 1,000 pounds. And so, do the math there. How many cars full of stuff that is, that's being saved from landfills? And that's thanks to our community. You're taking the things that you don't want anymore, and instead of throwing it in the landfill, you're giving it to Goodwill and to other nonprofits in your community. So thank you. And supporting the work that we all are doing as nonprofits through the sale and reuse of all of those donated goods. So just kind of keep that in mind when you have something. Is it, if it's garbage, right? If your cat's peed on it, and there's an appropriate place for that. But if it's in good condition, it's reusable. share that.
We do have, because as a nonprofit, we do have a list of items that we can't take. And we understand, frustrations on if you come and donate, and we don't accept your donations. But we do have a list on our website that does have the do's and the don'ts of what we do accept. So if you ever are packing up your donations and you get like a feeling of, I don't know if they're going to accept this or not, please visit our website page that lists what we can and cannot accept.
Absolutely. And don't ever hesitate to ask, right? Because I've been in line behind at our donation centers before, and I've listened to people ask, hey, can you take this? And sometimes we can, and sometimes we can't. So I think a good rule of thumb too is to remember, if you think it's garbage, then it might be something that really is going to. So if it's something that we're not able to sell, it's something that we have to pay to throw, which then that garbage bill takes away from the money that needs to go to our programs to support that. So just kind of keep those things in mind. And all that said, we appreciate you thinking of Goodwill and bringing your donations to us. So, but sustainability, that is who we are as an organization. That's our founder, Edgar Helms, believed that there was no waste in man or things. That was the thing that he said. So sustainability really is at the core of who we are. So, but when you're thinking about your stuff, like your clothing, your sporting goods, your household items, but also electronics, right? So if you're thinking about upgrading your computer or your television or your printer or your scanner, all those myriad things that we have, please think about donating those things to Goodwill. Your donation may be something that is still usable. So we sometimes use those donated computers here for our office staff and our programs, and also, for people who are accessing services here. So just think about the second life that your electronics might have, that they can help somebody as well. So it might be a little too slow for you, but it might have use for somebody else. So think about donating those things. Anything that is that we're not able to use or sell from your electronics, those are things that we do participate in the Washington e-cycle program. So those things do also get e-cycled as well. So
if you've got those old TVs, you've got the old big box computers, and it doesn't work.
And remember that those are things, we take those all year long. So when we have e-cycle events, like we do a e-cycling and a shred event with BECU every fall. And we have, without fail, every year since we've been doing these, and this has probably been now 6-7 years that we've been doing these with BECU, people don't realize that we take them all year long. So they're they'll gather them from friends. They'll come, and the people will come with like
trailers,
a truckload full of these, and they're like, oh yeah, I just had them in my basement. And I look, we take these all year long, don't you? And they're like, I didn't know that. So you don't have to hold on to those, because we all know, we all get overwhelmed with stuff in space. We do take those electronics all year long, every day, unless we're closed for a holiday. So you can always bring those to your local Goodwill.
Our stores also offer a cheaper alternative to retail stores. You're shopping with us. When you're donating, when you're looking for your school supplies, it's not going into the pocket of a major corporation. It is going directly to our programs.
Absolutely. And, 85 cents of every dollar earned from the sale of items in our stores and online, that goes to support our local programs in Eastern Washington and North Idaho. So when you shop and when you donate, you are making an impact in your local community, and those dollars are going to support, help and services that, many people wouldn't have otherwise. And our team gets to read those spotlight stories and even the stories of how the lives of our employees have been changed by Goodwill. So, while you're out and about doing your back to school shopping, think about, picking up things here, backpacks and those types of things that I know how hard my kids were on those things. And my husband and I were talking about how he was always losing that kind of stuff as a kid. Spending less to get the things that you need, but also think about donating, donating clothing and other items that you don't need. My kids are grown and out of the house now, and I was cleaning up, our old office space the other day, and I found packages full, 3 packages full of brand new unused pencils, right? Because we used to
Yeah.
stock up on those things, and then you'd go every year and you'd buy the whole school supply list, and then apparently didn't realize I already had them. My kids have been out of school for like 5 years, and I still have packages of pencils. So, donate those things because they can definitely be a treasure to another shopper.
Are you ready to declutter but don't know where to start? Which is me every time. Like I'll step into a room and I'm like, I don't know where to start. Like I'm looking at our house right now going, you know what? I think it is time to declutter. So Matt Paxton, who is a decluttering expert and Goodwill ambassador, has a few back to school decluttering tips to help you get started.
Absolutely. So, summer's almost over, right? So that means it's back to school time. So end of summer is really a great opportunity to declutter. And so think about it this way. Maybe you take a couple hours. It's a good opportunity to be inside when it's really hot outside and to do that. So here's what you can do to get ready.
So Matt says to start in the kitchen. Back to school means lots of lunches and snacks. So start with the pantry, the container drawer, and the cabinets. This can make things easy for lunch making, make extra room for donating appliances that are no longer in use, help you look at all those lunch containers and those lunch sacks that, maybe your kid loved it in the store, used it one time, and went, you know what? It's not for me.
Absolutely. And, my husband and I were laughing when I was cleaning the kitchen the other day because I'm like, we have way too many water bottles. We don't use all of these. You buy one, you lose it. It ends up in the back of the cupboard, and it's a great thing for somebody else's kid to use, or for somebody else to use when they're out for lunch, at work or school. So,
and can we just say Stanleys are starting to hit the stores, by the way?
they are. Just saying. But also, really think about this, that when you're in a cluttered space, it really can hinder creativity and focus. So spark some new inspiration by cleaning out spaces, making a clear space, get rid of things that you just don't use anymore. I think there's really kind of a general rule of thumb. If you haven't touched it in a year, you're not going to.
Yeah,
so
honestly.
Get rid of it. And then repurpose or reimagine furniture to create spaces, for homework or after school activities, or just a place for you or the kids in your life of any age to wind down. And then when you have a designated study or work area, you can create a productive and energizing atmosphere that really is going to help students be reaching their goals and being able to focus, because let's face it, it's easy to get distracted.
I don't know about you, but sometimes things build up and things get put on top of each other, and you're like, I wish I had a space to store these things, to get it off the ground or get it off cabinets and shelves. So by adding hooks, extra storage, and giving all those items a place, you can help better organize that space and get most foot traffic. So more, as Heather would say, more bang for your buck.
Exactly.
Knew I'd throw it in there.
Thank you.
So Goodwill, if you've ever been into our store, we have containers and there's shelving. There's all different things of, taking baskets. We always have baskets.
Baskets and hooks and, shelving units and, closet rods. And so just a variety of things that you can use. I have found, and actually at many Goodwills, I've only bought 2 of them, but those cube storage units that are really fantastic for just getting things up off the floor, keeping them, and then you could get little baskets to organize things. And then I've just put little tags on them for what's supposed to go in those little baskets. And now that I've got a grandbaby, I know he's not going to be doing art projects for probably a couple more years, but I'm already getting ready, for him and creating those spaces. So you definitely can find a lot of good deals, no matter what your age is, whether you are prepping your college apartment or you've got kids who are in school. Make thrifting your go-to spot. And I know that thrifting is hard for people.
Yeah.
For some people to consider using something that was somebody else's, but it really is better for the environment, better for your community, and in the end run, it's generally better for your wallet.
And a lot of the times, too, you can find things that people bought and then they just didn't use. So you can find a lot of new things with tags still on it.
Absolutely. I do have to say, when I was shopping in one of our stores, I think it was last week in the evening after work one day, I just had to run errands. And so I'm like, I'm going to stop and see if I can find a couple summer tops. And I found a couple things brand new, tag still on them, but at a much less than the brand new price. So it was fantastic. But as you're doing, and as you're thinking about your clothes and that, clothes really are one of the biggest hurdles when it comes to decluttering. So Matt Paxton talks about this as well. So before you go to the store, any store, and go back to school shopping, first go shopping in your closet.
That's such a good idea.
What do you have and what can be reused? What doesn't fit anymore? What needs to be fixed? Make a list of items you need and then go check your local Goodwill store before you buy something new and then donate what you aren't keeping. Right?
I don't have children, but I always like to think of if your kids outgrew a pair of shoes and they're still good, take those shoes, go to Goodwill, donate them, and then just find the next pair. Like just the constant cycle of good of taking something that they outgrew or outloved and then just getting a whole nother pair.
And I know for me, so I'm telling on myself, when my kids were young, we lived in a really small community and we only had one local thrift store. And my mom would thrift when I was growing up, but she didn't really thrift for us girls much. So anyway, I could have saved so much money when we didn't have a lot.
Yeah.
Had I been checking that one local thrift store that we had and been more of that mindset. And then of course, when I, moved up here and started working for Goodwill, it's like, my kids got a lot of that. So got a lot of Goodwill. But, so really think about that. Think about donating what you aren't keeping and then organize your closet in a way that makes it easy to see things and grab what you're looking for. It'll make it easy for your kids, right? Because your kids get to a certain age where they can start picking out their own clothes and picking out their own outfits, and mom and dad don't have to do that for them. And then after you organize your closet or your kids' closets, remember to tidy it as you go, or it's really quickly going to become cluttered again. So there are Matt Paxton's amazing tips for back to school decluttering.
And also, in general, just life decluttering. As I'm sitting here listening to him, like, you know what? This weekend, it's the goal. As it's going to be a gazillion degrees hot again in August. Because it's still summertime, even as we talk back to school. It's...
Right.
And looming on the horizon is one of my personal favorite seasons at Goodwill. Heather, any guesses? You're my boss. You know what this is.
Do you want me to tell you what it is?
Please tell me, what is it?
Michelle loves Halloween. It is one of her favorite seasons. No, so our team, the marketing team, we are preparing for different seasons early in the year. So we actually have been preparing for Halloween since January. Actually, we've been preparing for Halloween since last November.
Yeah.
But
I was like, don't you lie, Heather Alexander.
Our common work area has looked like Halloween since April or May.
Some of us are like, please get it away.
So by the time Halloween actually rolls around, we're like, we're done. But, but Halloween is coming.
Yeah, speaking of rolling around, we have the date, which is always a big date for a lot of people. So Saturday, August 24th, Halloween starts rolling out in our stores. And for some lucky shoppers, some of our stores might actually be creeping along and putting some Halloween stuff on the floors right now. So if you're looking at other stores and seeing their Halloween stuff coming out, you know what? Maybe take a trip to Goodwill and see what spooky treasures you can find.
Oh, and we are super excited. So keep your eyes out. We have a couple of new Halloween ads that are coming out this year, and all of the characters in those Halloween ads are some local people who volunteered to be models for us. And so they turned out really fantastic with a lot of really fun and creative Halloween costume and decor ideas made completely from finds at Goodwill.
And speaking of October, because Heather's already in the October kind of mood. So if you are a local business or an organization and you've heard of a trunk or treat, or you've ever wanted to participate in a trunk or treat, we are actually starting our sign up for trunk or treat. I'm going to call them a vendor, but it's not really a vendor. It's like a trunk.
Right.
For our South Hill Trunk or Treat event, which is going to be on Saturday, October 26th.
Yep. And that event is so much fun. Our team has a blast just with all of the kids who come through and the parents and all of the people who partner with us, the card clubs and the different businesses who participate with us. And I do believe that the church across the street is also having their trunk or treat around about the same time. So we are partnering and kind of coordinating our times together to make it a event that people can go to both and not miss anything. So
if you've ever wanted to reach 600 to 700, that's right, 600 to 700. We had over 700 people attend last year's event. So if you're looking to reach out and partner with Goodwill and really give back to the community, we have the link in the Good Bits section below. So please reach out. Teresa is very excited to get in contact with you.
Yeah, we're always looking to partner with people in the community and other businesses. So reach out. We'd love to have you be part.
Oh, yeah. And now this is Heather Alexander's favorite part of our podcast. I always have to grab the tissues because it's the most inspiring portion of our podcast. Heather, do you have a success story for us?
I do. I love getting to tell stories of people that Goodwill has helped and Goodwill works with over the years. And so Caleb is our story for this month. I'm just going to read the story. So in a bustling work world, finding the right support can be really hard for people, but it also makes all the difference in a person's success. For Caleb, life before discovering Goodwill's employment services was okay, but he just really felt like he didn't have what he needed to thrive in the workplace. And then before connecting with Goodwill, Caleb was an active person and he'd had a job at school, but sometimes it was hard to learn new skills and how to communicate better without a job coach. And he knew he needed some help. So Caleb had heard about Goodwill and he came to Goodwill. And he discovered a program that would be helpful to him, and that is Goodwill's Group-Supported Employment Program. That's a program that we have out in Moses Lake. And there, Caleb found the support he needed. The program focuses on helping people with on-the-job skill building, and it gives people one-on-one partnership with a job coach so that they can build new work skills and meet their own personal goals. So here at Goodwill, we really focus on what's called person-centered planning. And that means that we help people meet the goals that they have rather than telling them what their goals are. So Caleb set his goals, and then Goodwill put a plan in place to help him reach his goals that he had for employment. So with Goodwill's help, Caleb really became more confident. He felt comfortable taking on tasks independently, and he gained new friendships with his coworkers. Every day became enjoyable for Caleb, and he really thrived in Goodwill's inclusive environment, where social events like parties made working something to look forward to. Mm-hmm. Caleb says he's grateful for the impact Goodwill has on his life. Without Goodwill's support, he wouldn't have the income to support himself, and he wouldn't have the opportunity to connect with coworkers and friends. And really, that makes his days more enjoyable. He says that the inclusive and supportive atmosphere at Goodwill played a key role in Caleb's success. The group-supported employment program not only helped him with on-the-job skills, but also gave him a sense of belonging and friendship. And his journey to personal success shows the power that Goodwill's services have on local lives. Because Caleb got connected to Goodwill, he not only has a job, but he also has a source of income and a source of joy and fulfillment. And I do have to say, going out to Moses Lake, every time I get to chat with Caleb, he's always got a joke to tell. Mm-hmm. And he loves to talk about the things that he enjoys doing and the events that he likes going to. And you'll ask, he loves going to powwows. And mm-hmm. So have you been to this one? And he tells me about things that he went to. And he works both back in the production environment, and he also is putting things out on the sales floor. And it's just, he's fantastic and just part of the team out there.
To see more of Caleb's story, please visit our Good Bits section below, where we have an actual video that further talks with Caleb about Goodwill and his success.
Hey, if you're hearing this message, you've listened to our new episode all the way to the end, and for that, thank you.
And don't forget to keep up with What's Good by following us on social media. On Facebook at INW Goodwill, Instagram at Goodwill_INW, Twitter at Goodwill INW, and TikTok at Goodwill INW.
Okay, Michelle, I've got a joke for you.
All right, hit me.
Where do bad rainbows go?
I don't know. Where do bad rainbows go?
They go to Prism. It's a light sentence and it gives them time to reflect.
Oh.